Hey, my name is Matiss. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Green Finance, and this is what I do.
What up, y'all? How's it going? I am finding myself in the middle of this great city which is surrounded by these little canals, and I just wanted to share my observations and my mindset about the following topic. And the following topic is the decision between having a nice life and being exceptional at something. And let me explain what I mean by these two things in a very simplified manner, right? This is nothing scientific. So, nice life, meaning by any kind of normal developed world standards, we have a good, reasonable work-life balance. You know, career is not at the kind of very core of your life. It's more about your family, your social life, a good balance. And really the core value and the core thing that you're focused on in this kind of case is happiness and reasonable fulfillment. Yeah, that's nice life. Second, being exceptional at something. This is more where you want to be world class at, you know, whatever you're pursuing. And so the whole life is built around your career. You're obsessed with, you know, getting better and better at it, at the cost of all the other things like social life, often family, etc. And really the core focus and value you're pursuing is self-actualization of your talent. Yeah. And so what's interesting is, for me personally, and of course you can have people that have both of these things at the same time. I'm not arguing that, and it often happens, but it's definitely not the norm. It's mostly the one or the other. Let me just try to get this camera to film you this little nice quiet looking area in Amsterdam. And so for me, I'm leaning far more to the being exceptional at one thing lifestyle or life choice. But the interesting thing is that only as I've grown older, I've become more and more aware of this choice in general. And so let me explain what I mean by this, because up until when I was like, let's say roughly like 25, 26, I wasn't making this choice. I was going on an autopilot. I had some other videos where I was talking about that I was obsessed, or still am, right? And it was all about kind of being number one at whatever I was doing at that point in time, at the cost of sort of everything else in life mostly. And I didn't care about being happy or anything like that, right? And only as I've grown older, I realized that this is a choice that I'm making. And I realize this choice because of I'm more aware of the cost of my choice. And the cost, let me simply kind of mention three things as to how I measure this cost. Number one is the time you get to spend with your loved ones, especially for me, with my family, wife and my kid, my daughter. You know, reality is, if you want to be exceptional at something world class, it takes time, effort, hard work. We all know that. At the cost, first and foremost, of your family life. That's one thing. Second thing is at the cost of doing things that you otherwise like, right? I love, you know, extreme sports, being outdoors, things like that. Would I want to do more of that compared to how much I'm doing now? Yes, of course. I would love to kind of like, you know, learn fucking skiing or fucking surfing and things like that. But I choose to, you know, dedicate myself to business all the time. So that's another thing. And the third thing is for me especially being very result driven as opposed to enjoying the outcome. As opposed to enjoying the process. Yeah. And what I mean by this is, especially kind of like, if I speak to any really like high performance person, I sense and I know that they, as much as they can say that, you know, it's all about the journey and it's like, you know, I don't care about kind of the end result, etc. It's pretty much bullshit. Like, high performance, people that want to be exceptional, world class or something, they care about the outcome almost more than anything else. Yeah. And so the cost is that you just don't enjoy everyday life so much, right? So that's interesting. Now, another few points of observation around this topic is, for me, like, I realized that no matter how people wanna see it, like, you are given this overriding sense of drive to be exceptional, and you're given this from childhood, from a set of circumstances that you're grown in and grown with. And of course it is up to you, or it's a personal choice and a conscious choice as to how much you can, you know, develop on your skills and like, you know, work hard and pursue certain talents and pursue a career, etc. But the overriding sense of drive to succeed and achieve, it really comes from within, as in terms of it's given to you as you were growing up, right? And if you don't have that, you don't have that, right? Now the last point, very quickly, what I realized about this whole question of choice between being exceptional and having a nice life, quote unquote, is that at the end of the day, and I realize that more and more, nobody really cares other than myself, right? I can dedicate my whole life to something, to, you know, building a spectacular business, winning a gold medal, coming up with cancer treatment or whatever, but it's not like the world would have stopped spinning if I wouldn't have existed, or if I wouldn't have done that. You know what I mean? Which is quite a fucked up thing, but it is there. And so the polar opposites of, you know, none of that really matters, versus I dedicate my whole life to achieving something, some kind of one outcome, some kind of result. Those extreme opposites exist in me very much at the same time. So that's it. You know, that's a little breakdown of my thinking about this topic. Maybe there's some kind of new angles for you that you haven't thought about before. If not, then I hope you enjoy these little nice comfy houses of Amsterdam. All right, peace out.